welcome everyone, especially our two guests. Really appreciate you coming tonight. And before I get into our topic tonight, which is how to be a Toastmaster in person, we have a few roles to fill. There is an counter form floating around there somewhere. Oh good, Heidi has it. I need an counter tonight. Who would be willing to be the counter? Okay, we're gonna go outside the box and let people who are not members be counters. Oh. We don't normally, but we are going to do that tonight because we are short of people, so that's fine. We also need someone to do word of the day. Would you like to do it, Dave?
I'll need to find a word, but I can do it.
Okay, great. So that's Dave, and Jahan is, oops. And then I also need someone to tell a joke. Oh, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry to come in.
There's name tags over here on the other side of this redheaded woman.
Otherwise known as Erin.
Right on time.
Erin, yeah. And we just introduced ourselves. This is our first meeting back in person, and we're going to be meeting once a month.
Places.
What?
Yeah, it takes longer to actually walk somewhere, doesn't it? Or get somewhere.
Kind of come on over on this side. There's two empty spots here, and can you go ahead and tell us your name and if you've ever been to a Toastmasters meeting before?
Yeah, I'm Victoria Kovacs, and this is my third ever Toastmasters, first in person that I've attended.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, fabulous. Welcome. And then the other thing that we need is a joke master. Would anybody like to tell a joke tonight? And you can certainly look one up online.
I think I have one saved.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much. All right. Well, as you already know, because I mentioned it a couple times, the last time we met in person was in March of 2020. And at that time we were meeting at the Bridge, which was a nice place, but it didn't feel like home. This feels like home because we've been here for many, many years. In fact, our club is over 70 years old. We've been around for a very long time. It feels like a long time for sure that we met in person. And it was an adjustment to transition from being in person to being on Zoom. And I know it's going to be a bit of an adjustment to transition back to being in person. But and those of us who used to meet in person have probably lost some of our speaking ability in person, and also just how to do the whole Toastmasters thing in person. And for those of you who haven't done it before, this will be a new adventure for you. Either way, I hope that our in-person meetings lead to a more fruitful connection in terms of the connections you make with each other, and also a stronger club. So I look forward to taking this journey with all of you. Tonight I'll be sharing some of the things that you'll need to know in order to function in an in-person Toastmasters Club meeting, because it is slightly different than it is when you meet on Zoom. The meetings are run using Robert's Rules of Orders, and you've already seen one of those occur tonight when Patrick introduced me and I came up here, and he clapped, and then I shook his hand, and then he came behind me and walked off. And so the whole thing is that when someone's up here, they have the lectern, and they have control of the meeting, and every time I pass it off to another person, I will be shaking their hand, and clapping and shaking their hand and handing it off to them, and vice versa. When that person comes back, the same thing will happen. So the good news is we can clap instead of wave, yay! So awesome. And I just told you about coming up to speak at the lectern. So for all speeches and evaluations, we'll be coming up to speak at the lectern. Table topics will be at our seats, but we will stand when we do our table topics, unlike when you're just sitting at home behind the Zoom camera. And then there's forms, different forms that we use. So instead of writing your evaluations and voting in the chat box, we have forms for that. So one of the forms is, you see the evaluation sheet in front of you? I don't have a copy. Someone hold one up. Yep, there it is. And then we also have a voting little piece of paper that says best of night. So after you vote for the best table topic session, I want you to tear that top off. And today you don't have to do that because we only have one speaker. But for the heck of it, tear the top off and then pass that to who's doing table topics tonight. And that is going to be Heidi, so you'll be passing it around to her. And then, and we always take the break right for table topics. So if you're on the other side of the room, you can hand it off to her during our break. That's the other thing that's different, is that we have a break where we can get up and move around and actually talk to each other. How awesome is that? And then after voting for best speaker and evaluator, which we won't be doing tonight, you will pass those forms to the Toastmaster, and then the Toastmaster will add up the score, and then we will declare some winners. Now, the cool thing about having winners in person is that we can give actual ribbons, and we have those ribbons. So tonight, Patrick will be giving out some ribbons for table topics, because I know he happens to have some in his trusty notebook there. Okay, so the other forms that exist is there is an counter form, which has all the different types of audible pauses that are typical, which you can write on. The timer, can you hold up the timing form, Erin? The timer has a form to write on. And I think that might be it for forms. Okay. And then another thing is, if you're Toastmaster, it's important to sit close to the front, because I will be very active going up and down. And for me to have to walk all the way to the front of the room is kind of a pain. All right. Any questions? Pretty easy, straightforward and easy, I think, hopefully. Later tonight, go ahead.
Are we tearing each?
You're only going to be tearing off the top table topics section, because that's going to go to the person who's doing table topics. And then at the end of the night, you won't have to do it tonight because we only have one speaker, but when there's more than one speaker, more than one evaluator, you'll be passing those to the Toastmaster, and the Toastmaster will tally those up. I know it can get a little confusing. Later tonight, Patrick will be talking about the benefits of speaking in person. So with that, I'd like to introduce some of our people who are helping out tonight. I'd like, first of all, Erin Morgan to talk about how she will be timing our sessions tonight.
Yes, thank you. So tonight I will be timing using our wonderful, amazing, old-fashioned machine here. For table topics, I will do 1 minute, 1:30, 2 minutes. And speech will be 5 to 7, so 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7. And evaluations will be, I believe, 2 to 3, so 2 minutes, 2:30, and 3.
Thank you. And then our counter grammarian is Dave Narasimhan. Please tell us what you'll be doing tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, is that right?
Jahan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're doing, sorry, Jahan.
I
I
am
have
fine.
you have the wrong one. Jahan, we do.
No problem.
Okay,
I am.
do you know what to say?
I can make it up.
Wing it.
So this is our counter sheet. I'll be counting so, and, but, and double words, and perhaps grammar as well.
Wonderful. And at the end of the night, you'll be reporting out each person and how they did, like how many they had of each audible pause.
Okay.
And great, thank you so much. All right, gotta get used to clapping again. All right, and word of the day is Dave.
Thank you. The word of the day is to help build our vocabulary and to improve our speaking acumen. The word of the day I chose was supersede.
Is what?
Supersede.
Superfeed?
Supersede.
Oh, supersede.
Supersede, SUPERSEDE. It is a verb, and it means to replace in power, authority, effectiveness, acceptance, use, etc. as by another person or thing. There's also other definitions: to set aside or cause to be set aside as void, useless, irrelevant, or obsolete, usually in consideration of something mentioned. And to succeed to the position, function, office, etc. of, or supplant. And the word of the day is to supersede.
Thank you. And when you are the word of the day person and you know that ahead of time, please print up a big sign that has the word, and you're going to post it right up here. And you can also put the definition underneath it. Thank you, Dave, for stepping in. And then Aaron, Joke Master, please make us laugh.
Okay. I have this joke saved in my email. Okay. I don't think this is read at our Toastmasters group. Okay. A drunk was proudly showing off his new apartment to a couple of his friends late one night. He led the way to his bedroom where there was a big brass Chinese gong and a mallet. "What's with that big brass gong?" One of the guests asked. "It's not a gong, it's a talking clock," the drunk replied. "A talking clock? Seriously?" asked his astonished friend. "Yep," replied the drunk. "How's it work?" the friend asked, squinting at it. "Watch," the drunk replied. He picked up the mallet, gave the gong an ear-shattering pound, and stepped back. The three stood looking at one another for a moment. Suddenly, someone on the other side of the wall screamed, "You beep hole, it's 3:15 in the morning."
Oh.
All right. We do try to keep our jokes as clean as possible. Karen beeped it out. Okay. All right. Well, with that, I would like to introduce our table topics master for tonight. Please welcome Heidi Hummel. You have to go this way.
Oh, go that way.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. We're now at the table topics